Greetings. Welcome to another episode of Talks Over Drinks. As always, my name is Corey Fauquier, and my partner, Justice, the guy, Markel Prines, and Eva Elizabeth, who will not get out the shot for whatever reason. She's sitting here on the couch with us today. How's everything going, man?
Everything going good, man. I feel like Eva feels. She trying to be up in everything. She jumped up in my lap, and she said she knows when the camera goes on. You looking right at the camera, ain't you, girl? Look at her.
See,
she knows when it's going
today's
down.
Today's Eva's 8th birthday, so it's Eva's 8th born day. So we just chilling in the house, and like Markel has always saying, when you own something, you can pick it up and put it down at your leisure. So
have something you want on it.
That's right. So some things have happened to us in the last couple of months, and people have called, emailed, and texted and said, it's time to pick up. So we are happy to go into the 2021-2022 season of Talks Over Drinks. This is season 6 for us.
Yeah.
Picking up and putting down, because life sometimes gets in the way, but it's all good. Food for action, Markel?
Absolutely. So this food for action right here, I actually posted on Facebook the other day. I was listening to, I don't want to call him an old school rapper because there's no such thing to me as an old school rapper. It's just, it's good and it's great and it's okay. But this is a great artist, and I was listening to one of his tracks, and he actually said, I'm going to pull it up on my Facebook right now so I don't get it wrong. And the artist itself is Raekwon. Raekwon the chef.
Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang is for the children.
Wu-Tang is definitely for the children. Wu-Tang is for everybody. Now, there was one line in the song that caught me at the beginning of the album. And it says, if you got the tools, get them shits up out of the shed.
Get the tools out the shed so that the work that need to get done can get done.
Absolutely.
And service your tools. If you need to sharpen it or get a new battery or whatever, because it's been sitting in the shed for some time. You know what I'm saying? You got to definitely get that done. Yeah, man, it's a lot of stuff, man. We've seen each other, but this is the first time that we've gotten together and been able to record in a while. So with season 6, Markel and I are probably going to do some things that we should have been done since season 1 and didn't do.
Right.
For y'all who have been fans and Facebooking and Twitter, text messaging and phone calls, we appreciate you. What we're going to do today is we're going to cut to a little commercial break, and we're going to come back with our first guest, and I'm not even going to say who it's going to be, but we're going to come back with our first guest. My name is Corey Fauquier, the guy Markel Prines, Eva Elizabeth for the Fur Babies, and we are Talks Over Drinks, season 6.
Get my glass up here.
Cheers.
Pull up a chair and let's chill. Let's party, let's talk, and let's build. Yeah, alright, let's talk over drinks.
Alright, y'all, welcome back. Talks Over Drinks. My name is Corey Fauquier, and as you can see, my co-host seat, or my second host seat, is empty. And one of the things I think we should have done from the beginning was for Markel and I to interview ourselves, and we just never did that. So as we have been coming back to the table, going through the seasons, talking to the potential guests for season 6, 2021-2022, Markel and I decided that we would start by interviewing ourselves. So I'm humbled to introduce my best friend, partner in justice. He's been with me for a lot, and we've been here together with each other for a while. And I know I wouldn't have done this with anybody else. The guy, Markel Prines. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We all out to shop, but it's all good.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you having me on, brother.
Hey, man, look, sir, we can't do this without you, man. You've been there. Let me get my questions out, Lord. Let me ask you while I'm flipping through my questions. You remember how we met?
T-Mobile. I feel like I'm getting older. I want to throw like 19 something another, but T-Mobile probably 2012.
Yup, 2012. You remember what you said to me the first time we met?
Shit. I know I had to ask you, where you from, bro?
Yeah, you said you walked into me, so I'm in the pod at T-Mobile, and Markel walks up, and he's like 500'2", and he's like, "Yo, you from New York?" And ever since then, we've been tight. You remember the thing that I think made us closest is when me and Mandy ran out of gas on the Powell Hike, and I called you to come get me. At the time, I had a 1994 F-150, and the gas gauge was broke, and I didn't know the gas gauge was broke. So of course, I figured I had more gas in the truck than I had, and then it started sputtering, and Markel came with the gas can and rescued us off the side of the highway. So Mandy still calls you to this day. She'd be like, "How's best friend doing?" So, you know what I'm saying? You have gotten the best friend situation. So how's everything with you, the family?
Everything is everything. But I'm gonna add to that. Everything is great. Everything is moving in the right direction. It's moving in the direction that I always wanted it to move in. And the family's straight. Everybody's good. I'm going to be taking a trip next month.
Okay.
Going back home to New York.
Okay.
Haven't been back home in years. I tell you, it's been years. And hopefully I see a lot more family. I haven't seen family in a long time. So probably around the 12th of next month, I'll be taking this trip. And I look forward to seeing the town, seeing the old neighborhood, seeing, where it all started for me at.
So those are some of my questions. Where are you originally from in Long Island, and where has you lived in New York?
Okay, so clear my throat real quick. So originally from Long Island, New York, different parts of Long Island. I would say Nassau County. For my people that's from Long Island, I'm a Velt Villain, Hempstead Heights representative.
Okay.
Parts of Queens, so Southside Queens.
Southside, okay. You said that the other day.
Not far from Jamaica Ave. So,
okay.
I think from the beginning, to start off, and this is something I was thinking about when I was thinking about taking my trip. I wanted to go back and visit my beginnings. So, like, for example, my first elementary school was in Queens that I could remember. I know I did pre-K and stuff like that. Started out in Long Island, right? Kindergarten to 4th grade, went to PS 223 in Queens. 4th through 5th and a half, so half the year. That was PS 160 in Queens. Then moved back to Long Island, me and Mom's.
Okay.
Back to Roosevelt, Long Island. Went to Ulysses Bias Elementary School.
Where was that? On the island?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right there on Long Island.
Okay.
Ulysses Bias after that. Roosevelt Junior Senior High School. Went there from 7th through 10th grade. Matter of fact, till I got to 11th grade. Moved back to Hempstead. Went there, Hempstead High, from 11th to 12th grade.
And that's funny, man. My cousins went to Hempstead High. Yeah,
really?
Yep.
Man, Hempstead and Roosevelt is two of the most interesting towns in Long Island.
Okay. And why you say that?
Well, I would say Hempstead and Roosevelt was kind of really competitive towns. So when you talk about like the hardest from the island, from Long Island, that was either between Hempstead and Roosevelt. So starting out with Roosevelt, like I said, I'm a Velt Villain. So that's what we used to call ourselves back in Roosevelt, the Rough Riders. So before Eve and DMX. So back then our high school, it was known as the Rough Riders.
I got you.
So of course everybody had their stories about their beginnings, and I didn't come from a rich family or anything like that. I'm from the hood.
Okay.
I grew up, started, developing myself, growing, and gaining the necessary skills to, at first of all, mindset-wise, getting out of the mentality of where I came from.
I got you.
Which a lot of us have. A lot of my brothers and sisters from Long Island, I see y'all out there doing big things, so I know that some people can come from what you would call the worst parts and make something great out of it. So that's part of the story that I want to tell, is that no matter where you come from, you can, even if you start out with nothing, you can make something out of anything.
That's very deep. So let me ask you, how did you end up relocating to Virginia? How did you get to the Commonwealth?
that's an interesting story in itself. I got a couple of relatives down here. Actually, my dad is from Virginia, and
He's from Norfolk.
yeah,
Okay. So
yeah, he's from
in
Norfolk.
Tyler, okay.
And about 16 years ago, I would say that I moved down here to Virginia. I'm losing track of time, y'all, but at least 16 years ago, I came down originally because I was at home in New York, and I ain't have too much positive stuff going on or whatever, so I was still living at my mom's house. I think I left at like after 20, after 21, 22, 23 or whatever. And I just felt like where I was at, if I would have stayed there, that I wouldn't have been able to progress.
Okay.
And of course, anybody that's from New York, y'all know the cost of living is crazy up there. So what happened was I have an aunt and uncle who came down to Virginia. They moved down here, and I decided to come visit them. I came down for like a week or 2 weeks.
What part of Virginia were they in?
Henrico, so the West End.
Okay, so West End Henrico, okay.
Yeah, off of Broad Street.
Okay.
And when I came down, now mind you, I had been visiting Virginia previously. Now, like I said, my dad is from Virginia, and I used to come down to visit him, but I used to visit the Norfolk side.
Okay, I got you.
And I said to myself, shit, if Virginia looks like this, there's no way I might as well stay up in New York.
Okay.
Norfolk looked like the hood to me.
Right.
Like, I'm like, shit, well, it's cheaper, but
it's still the hood influence.
Yeah,
okay,
it's still the hood. I was like,
you.
So when I came down and visited my aunt and uncle, they lived over on the West End. Now, coming from New York, I'm used to, you look outside the window, 10, 11, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, you see people standing outside on the corners and stuff like that, doing what they do.
Right.
So on the West End, the first thing that I noticed was no sidewalks. So that's the first thing that got me.
There's a gospel song. I can't remember the artist I've been listening to. I've been on Mary Mary Pandora in my workplace. I think it's Travis Green. It's intentional. It's intentional that there's no sidewalks in the west part of Henrico County. It's intentional.
Yeah. And that was the first time that I seen something like that, no sidewalks. And the first thing that came to my mind was, if it looked like this in New York, I think it would be a lot less crime. I'm like looking, and the fact that you needed a car to go everywhere that you wanted to go. Like the West End, like the bus didn't even come down that way. So
now it does, but back then the bus stopped running at like 6 o'clock, Chief. And if you was short out there, that's before Uber and all that. You was real short. If you didn't have wheels underneath your behind, you just wasn't really going many places.
Absolutely. And then of course, I like to go back and visit the hood, so I went down to like, let's say, North Side and stuff like that. And they had sidewalks down there, that part of Virginia, not too far from the West End.
Right.
And I was like, man, the people down here stayed down here on the East End. Unless they had a car, but they had no reason to come over here to the West End.
Right.
And they damn sure wasn't taking a bus down here, and they weren't walking down to the West End.
Right, right.
So the first thing that I found was the peace of not having to be waking up in the middle of the night by the sound of this and that.
I got you.
Not looking outside. And this is crazy. One of the last things I remember when I went back home to visit. Back home to New York to visit after being down here for probably about 5 years or so, right? I was staying at my mom's house, and I was up, it was like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I heard some people outside talking. So it was an older guy, and he was just leaning in somebody's car as if it was broad daylight. Like, it was 1 in the morning. He leaning in their car, and they having a conversation outside. So I was like,
what are they doing?
Yeah. So I was...
Because you used to this good old Virginia living at this point. Right, I got you.
So I'm kind of like, damn, I'm kind of removed from this here. Like, yo, this is out of the ordinary.
So you got down to Virginia, you realized New York was no longer for you. You've always been a very positive, uplifting person. As long as I've known you, you've been into network marketing, relationship building, coaching and development. And I know you've made some changes in life over the last couple months. So tell our viewers and our supporters what you've done in your transition of being a better Markel.
Damn. That's a good one. My transition.
Transition to being a better Markel.
Let me get my glass.
Yeah, because that's all it's about at this particular point.
Gotta take a sip to that one. I think, of course, part of the transition from coming down from New York to here to Virginia was that I did want a different scenery. Mm-hmm. I wanted a different scenery from the outside, but I also wanted to bring a different scenery from within myself.
Correct.
I wanted to kind of reinvent myself and, you know, get away from...
Which I believe you've successfully done. I can't say that. So we can drink to the successful transition of Markel being a better version of himself. Sad.
I was not this person.
Yeah.
I would say
but sometimes you like you said, you gotta put yourself, if not even in, I think you've always had the mindset to be better. I think you've had to put yourself in a different environment. Yeah. So like your transition from Long Island to Virginia for you was helping to build that transition point for you to be better. So
that's right.
From what I know about the coaching and development of what you were doing with the network marketing, I know now you're self-employed. So explain to people what happened. Like what happened on your job, your last job, that makes you so disgusted that you said you wasn't going back.
Oh man, I'm gonna tell you about that, but I'm gonna go one step before that to the previous. So where we started at, where we met at T-Mobile.
T-Mobile, as we still have T-Mobile service. Right?
Yeah, I'll never give them up though.
T-Mobile, it was the corporate plantation.
That's right? What I was looking for you to say.
When me and Reggie Ford, shout Reggie Ford, man, one of my mentors, the banking cartel, the banking cartel and the corporate plantation, where sometimes some of us are able to excel, but some of us get stuck. And we realize that this cannot be what we've been placed on this earth to do. So back at T-Mobile.
Absolutely. So back at T-Mobile, first I would like to say I enjoyed my time there.
Mm-hmm. We met each other. I met Mandy. Yeah. So
we made a lot of good connections there. Yeah. But it was never a place that I saw myself being for long. And I hate
transition.
It was.
Okay.
And I hate to keep going back beyond that, but before that, I did route sales. So I worked for a company called Schwann's. And at that time, when I first came down here, I had some money. I had some money and stuff, and I bought a commercial cleaning franchise. That was the first time I ever stepped into entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. I bought a commercial cleaning franchise, and without ever having any previous skills in doing cleaning or anything like that. Mm-hmm. It was actually my uncle who suggested, hey, you could come down here and buy a franchise, have your own business and stuff like that. So I did that. I did it for probably about 3.5 years, and that was before 2008, before the crash.
What'd you learn? What was a positive? What was a negative? I know some of the negatives you are going to tell us is that the overhead for a new entrepreneur, or if money's not coming in as steadily as you would like it as an entrepreneur, having to put out for a vehicle and cleaning supplies and cleaning the floor buffers. I know you always talk to me about the floor buffers. Mm-hmm. Like that's expensive. Yeah. So besides the overhead output that you have to put out as an entrepreneur, what were the positives and the negatives of that particular business?
Okay, so starting out with I'll start out with the positives on that. So, like I said, it was my first taste of entrepreneurship. Something that I always wanted to be able to say I own something, that I have my own business. Mm-hmm. The positives was being able to feel like I controlled my own destiny. I felt like I controlled my own destiny.
Okay.
In this traditional type of business. I call it a brick and mortar. So
That's
it's
right.
more of a traditional business.
That's right. And I know you're going to tell us why brick and mortar may not be the way we need to be going as new entrepreneurs. But go ahead.
Absolutely. And it taught me how to kind of build relationships. That was the beginning of me building relationships with people, because when I was out in Richmond, I had about 10 contracts across Richmond.
Okay.
Everywhere from the West End down to, I want to say Petersburg, but
Chester?
No, down like River Road from the West End, going down there. Goochland.
Okay.
Goochland. And I remember the name only because I did a church. I used to clean a church, Goochland Baptist Church. So from Goochland down to damn near Church Hill, because I had a building down on 22nd Street that I used to clean off of Broad Street. And I learned how to build relationships with business owners. So they contracted me to do a service cleaning their properties and stuff like that. And it felt good to be able to communicate with people like that own stuff, and they looked at me as an owner also. Even though I was a worker too.
So the respect that you got from other business owners was a positive light for you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So that was the positives. The money was great.
Okay.
In the beginning, when it came to the cleaning, I used to get contracts that would take me like 45 minutes to clean like a trailer. 45 minutes, and you thinking $400 and something a month. But 4 times a month, you like, okay, that's $100 an hour. So I'm like, okay, I'm in heaven. If I can get more contracts like this, I'm good to go. In the beginning, I was doing it all myself. So I was the owner and the operator.
Okay.
After a while, it got a little challenging to me because I used to hate getting calls. Like I had an employee, but I used to hate getting calls from these owners letting me know that this and that wasn't done right.
Yeah, and I'm gonna interject this as a former manager. The problem I see is that everybody's not dedicated to the mission. So the same way, and I always say that with regard to like my time with Toastmasters. Reggie Ford, Keith Hicks, Sandy Sanders, they taught me how to do something, and every time I did it, I would always have pride in doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like my parents brought me up to have pride. Like if you're gonna sign your name or something,
that's right.
You gotta have a certain pride about yourself. And when you start working with people in the workforce, you realize that people are just there for the check, and they don't have the same pridefulness about what they're doing as you may have. You know what I'm saying? And then the problem comes where you're unable to coach the person to greatness.
Yeah.
Because they just, Markel's not here, so I'm going to goof off. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to run the sweeper for a while. I'm going to put my feet up on somebody's desk, or worse off, go through somebody's desk and take some stuff that don't belong to me. So, you know what I'm saying? I learned everybody's not dedicated to the mission. And you go through a lot of stress and drama because you can't bring that person into the fold.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So everything you said is true. I learned quickly that I love being a business owner. I love being an entrepreneur.
Okay.
But it was times like, let's say it's 80, 90 degrees outside right now. It'd be days that I would feel like it's 60, 50 degrees outside. I used to have real bad anxiety because I used to get phone calls from these business owners telling me that something wasn't done right, something was missed. And being the owner, I'm like, damn, like, what's going on? Like, if these people are mad, they could just say, hey, I don't want you here no more. That's the end of my money.
Yep.
So I started going through the emotions on a daily basis. I used to hate answering my phone.
Yep.
That shit used to give me anxiety.
I understand.
Like crazy. Like I said, summertime, I'm feeling chills. Like, I'm feeling sick. Like, oh, my phone ring. Oh, God, I don't want to answer this phone. Like, what's the problem now?
Right.
So that was the bad parts about it. And then the crash of '08. You know, a lot of companies, they said to themselves, okay, for us to save money, what we going to do?
We're going to cut.
We're going to cut. And the cleaning people was the
first ones to go.
Cut.
And the thing, and just in us speaking, with regard to the crash of '08, now we just came through COVID.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a business owner, you got to figure out how you're going to recession-proof what you're doing. Because, like Markel said, when people start to slash and cut to save money, if your services are going to be amongst the first to go, I know I spoke to our cleaning lady, and she said her joint was devastated. She had to let people go and all that other type of stuff. So tell our viewers a little bit about what you're doing now. And even as I'm doing research for my contributions, if you guys don't know, I'm a contributor to a political blog called Virginia Right, based out of Mechanicsville, Virginia. I've been doing a lot of research about what's going on in communities in the Central Virginia area. And when companies leave a community, if the community doesn't figure out what they're going to do, the communities now become devastated and turn into these types of deserts that Markel was talking about, how it was for him in Long Island. So tell the viewers what you're doing now, and how you've kind of revolutionized yourself and you've grown as an entrepreneur by not having an actual brick and mortar business. Gotcha. Explain to them how that's been working for you.
Okay, so I would say, first off, having the proper mindset and going through different trials and tribulations and not looking at them as trials and tribulations, looking at them as learning lessons.
Okay.
So throughout my brick and mortar business, I learned what I liked, I learned what I didn't like. I went back into the corporate world, of course, with T-Mobile, and I would say that's the last full-time corporate job that I had.
Okay.
And I may put a picture up of my resignation letter.
Okay.
Which was September 29th, 2018. So it's been about 3 years since I worked full-time on a corporate plantation. And I actually saw my resignation letter on my phone a couple of days ago. I was looking at it just to clear out some space. And I said, man, I didn't realize that I had it saved in my phone. But yeah, I'll put that in this video so y'all can actually see. I wrote, I appreciate the time here, but I have to basically pursue what I really needed to pursue. I've always been into network marketing, which was introduced to me, I would say, first was introduced to me by my aunt who lives in New York. One of her friends was involved in the network marketing company. I knew nothing about it. I knew nothing about online marketing at the time, and that was years, at least 10 plus years ago when it was kind of fresh and you don't have all this social media at the time. I didn't know what I was doing, but I liked the idea that within a couple of minutes I was a business owner and I had access to hundreds of different products that I could promote. The only problem was I didn't know how to promote it. So I spent years going from company to company, learning the proper skills. I originally started out looking for the money. Of course, everybody want to get into business to make the money, but I didn't get the money for years, but I got the lessons. I learned that when I was going from company to company that it really isn't the company, it's not the product. Because I met people that sold all kinds of stuff. I met people that sold vitamin E, fish oil for pets. And I'm thinking, okay, for pets, like beef jerky, chicken jerky and stuff like that, I'm thinking, okay, there's affiliate marketing or there's network marketing companies that sell this stuff and these people are making good money. So I realized that it wasn't the product or the company, it was the individual.
And I'm saying, as you're saying, I'm looking through my emails. There's two quotes I have. One quote, my last instructor at the community college, Stephen Sanders, said it. He said, "Everybody has an expiration date." Yo. Oh, yeah. everything is gonna go bad at some point. And Markel, he had his expiration date. Like
Absolutely.
you have to move on and do something else.
Absolutely. And expiration dates apply to negative things and positive things and negative things. So my expiration date had expired for me from having the mindset of just being an employee. And I was done with that. So wherever I went after that time when that mentality in me had expired, I just was never satisfied being an employee. No matter what I was doing, even if it was the simplest of tasks, it was like I still have a boss. I got somebody telling me what to do, it didn't mesh with me.
And the thing about somebody telling you what to do, it's like you're sitting in a subservient place, but you know you could do that person's job better than they doing it. And a lot of times, at least at my last job, I realized that people get promoted to manager not because they know what they're doing, just because they outlast the person previous to them. They don't know how to talk to people. They don't know how to address people. And it's like when you're at work, I catch myself reeling myself back from your first thought. Like, yo, this person had the audacity to tell me this, and they don't know that there's a backstory.
Oh yeah.
And you gotta pump your brakes because you really about to really go off on this person based on them having half the story.
And that's part of the growth, you guys. Know your weaknesses and know your strengths. I know one of my weaknesses is my emotions. I try to be as positive as possible about things because I want a positive environment. I can't deal with negativity.
You're always positive, yo. As long as I've known you, you've been a positive person. Here go the other quote I wanted to share. This is my favorite quote. George Tayu is the original owner of Steeplechase Park in Coney Island. And after the fire in 1907, I'm about to say 2007, after the fire in 1907, he put a sign on the park gate. And it says, "To inquiring friends, I have troubles today that I had not yesterday. I have troubles today. I had troubles yesterday that I have not today." So basically he's saying that some things you're going to overcome and some things is going to be brand new. They're going to pop up today, and it's going to be about how you're going to overcome.
That's right.
That's my favorite quote. Although Steeplechase Park was never rebuilt, you know what I'm saying? My man George Tayu had a positive, all-encompassing perspective of how he was going to move forward.
Right.
Wow. What else do I want to ask you? I know you started a new business, RVA Delivers.
Yeah, RVADelivered.com. You guys, anybody could go there now, see a couple of videos and stuff. Get a lot of online training. So you can, if you want to know how to make money from home, doing affiliate marketing. That's one of the things that
Come here, Eva. Come here.
Affiliate marketing, it excites Eva. Also, whenever I say it.
Come here, little girl. Come here. You know this is live, folks. We not stopping the taping or nothing like that. I know, boo boo.
We're gonna keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling. Know how to improvise. You hear something? I know. Okay. So affiliate marketing. You can actually go on the website and learn about affiliate marketing. There's different training videos that I've produced that I put up there. There's different programs that you can actually purchase if you want to learn from experts. Because I don't consider myself an expert. I consider myself somebody that's learning, that's constantly learning. And I got to the point where I was able to have some results. And one thing that I always found, and I'm gonna say this, in the beginning, the hardest part, and this is for all the entrepreneurs,
and it's not really to blame anybody or to put anything out there on anybody, but when you're starting out on any journey, a lot of times there's some people that's going to come with you, and there's going to be a lot more people that not going to come with you, or they're going to discourage you from going on that journey. So when I started out, I used to be the one, I wanted to help my people and everything. I wanted to help everybody. I'm like, yo, I got this new thing right here. You need to jump on. You need to do this and that. You can make a lot of money. And the first thing that used to come out of everybody's mouth was, well, I'll wait and see how you do with it. And I'm like, damn, like, you wait and see how I do with it. But I was in network marketing, and the business was actually getting other people involved. So my job or my business was introducing somebody, say, hey, I got this business. You want to make money or whatever. We got this product or service. And I could never crack that barrier. My business partners, they were good at that. And I laugh. And now, as the years go on, I realize that it takes a special kind of person to do that type of business. All of the people that I knew that were successful in it were actually like pastors and ministers. And that's who introduced me to a lot of my different businesses that I got involved with.
But I think that over the time, I think that from an outsider's perspective looking in, network marketing to me was good because it seemed like it was Toastmaster-ish in its approach, because Toastmasters taught you how to support the new person. So I always felt that even though, and I know you went through different network marketing companies and different things. Some things you did, I bought into, some things I didn't, but the perspective or the positive attitude towards training, growth, development, and support is something that remained constant regardless of what company y'all moved to.
That's right.
And I think that is that's a positive trait that I take from you as my friend. And now that you're doing your own thing, that's, I think, the key of what you needed in your journey to your personal development, was the fact that it's not somebody else's idea. It's something that you created. It's your own entrepreneurial skill and trait that you took from all these other places you worked, including T-Mobile and Schwann's and all these other places you may have worked, and you brought that to your own thing. And now you're even when we talk, like when you first told me you was doing it, like I couldn't wrap my head around it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But the more I talked to you about it, and the more you gave me examples, then I was able to wrap my head around that. So,
and I'll break down the difference between that and what I'm doing now. So, like I said, I started out, it was network marketing. However many companies that I joined and I failed at, or I learned lessons from, I can't even tell you. But the difference was when I got into affiliate marketing, it was more so dealing with the product. It wasn't me saying, I'm with this company, so I'm promoting, like I did the coffee thing. So their product was coffee. It was this herb that was in the coffee that's supposed to help you, that's supposed to do this and that.
I love the coffee.
The coffee was good.
It didn't agree with my stomach, but I love it.
I know you said
it said it was good going down.
Right.
It wasn't good coming out.
So it's examples like that. You'd say that's a product that somebody would ingest. It might not be for everybody. Mm-hmm. Me trying to crack the barrier of who's it for, who's it not for, and just having one product. Like, you might not like coffee. We had tea with the company, but let's say if you didn't like coffee or tea, if you like something else, then I would have nothing to offer you while I was with that company. Mm. I always found that when I went from business to business, it was somebody that wanted this product from this company or something, but they didn't want it from the company, this product that I was with this company. So I'm like, man, wrong time or whatever. So I kept looking at it like it was a timing thing. Like, oh, maybe I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time. I didn't realize that it was me the whole time, that I didn't have the skills needed to do the job, to build the team. So the difference was with affiliate marketing, I'm basically able to promote any and everything. If you tell me that you got a cold right now, and you need some vitamin C. Okay, cool. Here you go, right here. You can go get this vitamin C from this site right here. Boom, I get a commission.
So it's more friendly to you in the way you're networking, because now you're not bound by one single product.
Right.
You can find out what the person needs, and you can give them a product based on what their needs are.
Right.
Okay,
I consider myself more so now a resolution specialist.
Mm.
So I guess that term could kind of come from the call center environment. We were customer service representatives.
You don't have to escalate no more, right?
Right. You ain't got to escalate. If I can't fix your bill or whatever, I got to send you to this next level or whatever. So as you can see the progression, you take bits and pieces from every situation. So you ain't got to escalate to no supervisor because I ain't got this right here. If you say to me, man, I want some CBD right now. Hey, I'm the plug. Right. I can get you the CBD and I can get commission off of it. Right. If you say you want car parts or whatever, if you want this, you want that, I'm the plug for that. I can do this and that. Right. If you want animated videos, and this is another thing that I always say to people, is that don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. If you're a person that comes from a certain area and you don't have the resources around you, but you know that there's people out there that's living a great life, that's doing it. Like, I was watching a TikTok video the other day, for example, and it re-inspired me about what I'm doing. It was a video about water. It was a bottle of water that was being sold for $32. So
bottle of water for $32.
Bottle of water for $32. Now, at first in the video, the people was looking like, "Are you crazy? Like, why would I buy a bottle of water for $32?" But then, as you read deeper into it, you learn the sales process. You learn about how to actually sell. Now, right offhand, you wouldn't think that bottle of water was important, but once when you start to learn about how it is over in China with the pollution and stuff like that, and how these people over there, they'll buy that water because their water is horrible.
Right.
And the effects of the pollution and not having good water, how that affects your lungs and stuff like that. And watching the video as it progressed, the people start to realize that they started to bring their own stories into play. And they start saying, "Yeah, I remember when I went here and there and the water wasn't good and stuff, like this wasn't that." So they started to understand why it was important for that $32 bottle of water.
Wow.
And that's the process. It's about showing people
the value.
The value.
Word.
So what I had to learn throughout my time was how to show people the value of something when I was offering a singular product. If I only had coffee, then I had to try to make you see the value in this coffee. Like, what's wrong with you? Is your leg hurting? Is your knee hurting or something? Okay, yeah. So this coffee right here, that's going to help, the herb that's in it is going to help target that area, and that's going to get the inflammation away from you. Within a certain amount of time, you should be feeling better, some relief. So you got relief from a product that, hey, you could have bought cheap coffee in the store or whatever. And now with the affiliate marketing, it's less so about that, me trying to convince you and show you the value of something. It's just you telling me, I need this, I need that. And I'm saying, there it is.
So it's a more customer-focused type of situation.
Right.
Before we close out this segment, can you give the customers your contact, email information, and your website for RVA deliveries if they want to get with you?
Absolutely.
On a more intimate basis to kind of learn the ins and outs of what you do.
Absolutely. So everybody, you can go to my website, which is rvadelivered.com. And like I said, there's a lot of different videos on there. I created the website myself, and like me and my brother, we when we do stuff together. If I can't rely on nobody else, this the only person that I call for anything. So that's how, like, from where I'm from, we don't really mess with people like that. It's been 15, 16 years that I'm down here, and this is the only person that I hang out with. If it ain't my family, like my uncle or something like that, this is probably the only person you're going to see me with, because I only click with certain people. Like that, like I said, that goes back. Like he said, I've always been positive, but it's like when you're in a positive environment, how can you not be positive? This is a positive brother right here, so how can I not be positive? But when I'm in other environments around other people, it may be some shit that I would never want him to know about, or I would never want him to see me in that light. So I avoid, I don't go hanging out, I don't go partying and all that kind of stuff. My focus is my family, my friends, and helping other people who want to build a business. So you can reach me at rvadelivered.com, YouTube, Markel Prines. Go on there, send me a message, Facebook, Messenger, whatever, social media. I try to keep everything Markel Prines so that you can easily find me. If you want to know about affiliate marketing, I'm willing to give the game as much as I know. Like I said, I'm not an expert. And I'm going to tell you this. This is one of the biggest jewels I've learned with this entrepreneurial business. A lot of people want to learn how to make money online. They'll go online and they'll see a lot of, like, let's say Facebook, for example. You'll see all these videos, all these ads with people promoting, let's say, drop shipping, this and that, how to do online trading and things like that. But the one thing you notice is these people have thousands of followers, millions of followers. They make videos constantly. They're really doing the thing. And I relate it to people like this. I'm not really out there. I'm not trying to make $1 billion. I'm trying to live comfortably, be able to go on vacations when I want to, when I can, and live a nice life. I'm not going to go out there and go through a training program that's designed for somebody that supposedly wants to be a millionaire, make all this money, because I'm not going to put forth all that effort. I'm going to tell you right now, when it comes to that, I'm kind of lazy. So I'm going to do what works for me, and that's how I try to present it to people. It's kind of like if you wanted to know how to play basketball and you wanted to play just on your local team, if that's good for you, if you just want to be a neighborhood star, I could see you shouldn't go contact Michael Jordan to train you. You might think that that's the best way. Oh, Jordan's going to train me or whatever. But just think about it. He has all these followings. How many other people want to be trained by him? You might show up somewhere and there's 10,000 people. Now you one of 10,000 people, whereas you'll never be a star. And that's what happens with a lot of people online trying to make money like that. You go with these big pools with people that is so much competition, these people that's making millions and millions, and they got thousands of people trying to do what they do. When, in this example, you just wanted to play on your local team. Why not go to the local coach in your area, learn the skills? He only got 5-10 people that he's working with, so you 1 in 10. It's easier for you to be a star.
I got you.
But people, it's the mentality, and that's the one thing that I want to share with people more so than like the skills. You can get the skills from anywhere, but it's the mentality that's going to help you. Like when you watching training videos and stuff, don't watch looking for he's going to give me a magic bullet. He's going to tell me, oh, if you just do this, I'm going to be successful.
That's probably what's wrong with people, man. You know what I'm saying? Those are the people that's not dedicated to the mission. Those are the people that want a get-rich-quick scheme. I'm going to sell you a bridge, all that other type of stuff. If that's not how it goes. And I can tell just from Markel's progression, what I've seen as his friend and his brother, that's not how it is.
Right.
rvadelivered.com, social media, Markel Prines, everything. Again, my name is Corey Fauquier. I'm partner, the guy Markel Prines. We are Talks Over Drinks. Cheers.
Hey, all right, let's talk over drinks.
Talks over drinks. Talks over drinks. We can have a conversation. You can say what you think. I'm 40 plus and still rocking to this hip hop beat. Bring it live and direct right here from Broad Street. I pray that my lyrics do find you well, cause it's me, MSB, and a guy named Markel. The White J, son, you know he fan. Invite indie musicians coming straight slam. I got swerving beat sounds on the ones and twos, and together, united, we gon' bring it to you. We the RVA Rap Pack crew. So take your pick, Comcast or YouTube. No disrespect, I don't mean to be rude, but these other talk shows can't do what we do. I stay with the lyrics, some call me Dread Dude. Difference of opinion should not be called sin. Tell the truth, yo, Dread, where you been? Invest a few minutes, I hope you tune in, yo. Politics, economics, education. These are topics across the whole entire nation. Keep it 100, we gon' talk about them, yo. Bring your kids, tell your mama and a friend, yo, it's Toast Over Drinks. Toast Over Drinks, we can have a conversation, you can say what you think.
Let's talk over drinks. Pull up a chair and let's chill. Let's party, let's talk and let's build. Alright, let's talk over drinks. We over here keeping it real, saying exactly how we feel. Come on, let's talk over drinks. Pull up a chair and let's chill. Let's party, let's talk and let's build. Alright, let's talk over drinks.